What's up? My name's SKR Studios. I have ranked every single 21 Pilots song in the past twice. Both videos are completely outdated, and I didn't feel like ranking all of them again because nothing new was out, but I did want to give you guys my top 21 Pilots songs, and that's what we're doing today. Here we go. Number 21, it's the best satire song from 21 Pilots. It's lavish, it's goofy, it's got a weird beat. It does not sound like 21 Pilots at all, but at the same time, it does. I love the lyrics. I love how just cocky and blatant it is, and it's not something you would expect from this album, let alone any album from the band. The proctologist line is one of the most memeable 21 Pilots things ever, maybe the most, and I just love everything about this song. The singing is great. I love the falsetto. I love just going along to this song, and it's short, it's sweet, it's simple, it does not overstay its welcome. It's one of the best from Clancy. Lavish is perfect. 20th, No Chances. This does not sound like a Scaled and Icy song, but the chorus does. The chorus sounds like it is a Scaled and Icy poppy song that is made by Dima to get citizens to come in, with a corrupted sort of chorus going on in the background, and Tyler really spitting what he's trying to say in the verses. And, you know, on Scaled and Icy, I love the album to death. It's my third favorite 21 Pilots album, but after a while, the poppy sound does kind of get a little stale, and you're like, where is the experimental 21 Pilots that I love? And No Chances just throws that at you, and it's perfect. I love the alarm-ass type beat. I love everything about this song, which is why it's perfect. 19th place, one of the most classic 21 Pilots songs ever made. You got Trees. Every show ends with Trees. It's the honorary ending of Vessel. Everything comes to a head in this song. It goes from a synthy, nice masterpiece into this loud, dancey sort of style like car radio. And whether it's about Tyler calling out for God or Tyler just calling out for someone to say hello back to him, it doesn't matter, because being alone, you should take pride in it, even if it's not what you want in the first place. Trees is amazing, which is why it's perfect. 18th place, you got Legend. Legend is a celebration for Tyler's grandfather rather than being a sad, somber song about his grandfather's death. Legend is in a great place on Trench. It is one of those songs where it's a contradiction because of how happy it sounds, but the lyrics are so down. And honestly, having it before Leave the City is just kind of a great goodbye to the audience and also a goodbye to his grandfather. I love the jazzy feel to it. I love the ukulele. I love Tyler's vocals. And if I listen to the lyrics really, really hard rather than just going with the vibes, this song will make me bawl my eyes out, which is why it's perfect. 17th place, Taxi Cab. Tuvula said it best when he said that he's not very religious, but this song puts the religion back in his soul. Some of the best written verses by Tyler ever are in this song, and one of my favorite piano riffs by the band ever is in this song. Self-Titled is known for its more ballad, slow, somber songs, and this one is the greatest proponent of that, in my opinion. Tyler's songwriting is just thrown to the front of this song, and his talent is apparent. I can't listen to it too much because it does make me very, very sad sometimes, but when I do listen to it, it just hits really hard, and I can see why Tyler had to stop playing it on the Bandito shows, but at the same time, I would love to hear the song live one last time before it gets retired, and man, it's perfect. 16, Migraine, one of the coolest synthy beats and best flows from Vessel. This is my favorite Vessel song for a reason. The idea of mental illness being comparable to a migraine and just all these thoughts racing that you don't want being in your head is perfect songwriting. And on top of that, having the line, sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head, is just perfect, because sometimes death seems better than being stuck inside your own head. I would rather be dead than be stuck inside my own head, and I feel like that's so relatable. At the same time, the flow in the rap is insane, with the lyrics also being awesome. Like, Behind My Eyelids or Islands of Violence is just peak right there. And I love Migraine. It's perfect. Top 15. 15th place, Chlorine. Of course, it has to be in the top songs. This is 21 Pilots' magnum opus, arguably. It's a 5.5-ish minute song that just takes you on so many different trips. It is so psychedelic towards the end, and the beat at the start mixed with Tyler's sort of vocal effects that he's doing, it's just crazy, man. Everything about this song is perfect. You got the metaphors to Tyler's creativity. You got the introduction of Ned. You have the main first part with the Chlorine chorus that then turns into this slow, sort of more ballad, ambient noises type of song. And this is just Trench. This is the experimental sound and just amazing production that is Trench. And when you think of Trench, this is one of the songs that I gravitate towards. This was my favorite song when the album came out. I just think that if you're going to show anyone a 21 Pilots song, you should either show them Holding On To You or Chlorine, because those are like 21 Pilots to a T. I love Chlorine. Like I said, perfect. 14th place, another Trench one, we got Neon Gravestones. Neon Gravestones is one of my favorite songs about the topic of suicide. Suicide is not said once, and I think that just shows the maturity of the album and of Tyler, since Blurryface and beforehand wasn't as mature as something like this. It is handled really well, and it's honestly kind of crazy that Fueled by Ramen didn't want them to put this on the album due to them thinking that it wouldn't be taken the right way. Neon Gravestones truly is a song about staying alive and staying alive for the promise that you're going to get older, and to glorify getting old instead of glorifying suicide. This song always makes me think about Chester Bennington, and this song is just, the production's amazing, the piano sounds great, and the creaky noises and just kind of strings in the background are something that makes me want to cry every time I hear it. I love Neon Gravestones. Guess what? It's perfect. 13th place, track 13 on Clancy, Paladin Straight. Even with the minute of bird noises and the lore kind of feeling like it's being hidden behind a bunch of stuff, it's still a great song. I love how every single chorus sounds different, with the first one being just the uke, second one being the uke and drums, and third one being the psychedelic nature. I love when the song turns into the bridge and you just feel like you're floating without any flotation. This is the best visual song we've gotten since something from Self-Titled, where Tyler is describing basically a story beat for beat, and you can just imagine what's going on in your head. I think that this is a great song to have within the lore. I'm so glad it's not the last one, because that wouldn't make any sense. And obviously, it relates to the lore with Tyler moving from Trench across the Paladin Strait to Dima, making his way towards the citizens to save them. But at the same time, there's always going to be some sort of Paladin Strait that you're going to have to cross to get to the other side to go help someone. Or there's always going to be some sort of obstacle that you're going to have to cross to help yourself. And that's just the main theming of this song. I love it, on top of how it sounds. And the vocals are some of the best vocals we've ever gotten from Tyler, ever. Like the "making my way towards you," on top of how different the chorus sounds, you know, beat for beat, with all the different words being kind of sung in this different way. It's just, I don't know how Tyler went from his regional at best cracky ass voice to something like this. It's perfect. Number 12, Fall Away. I'm not very religious, so I don't really relate to it in the same way that a lot of you might. I think that I relate to it more in the way where I don't want to fall away just in general from a lot of different things. But regardless of that, the beat is insane. Tyler's flow is insane. And this is one of the best aged 21 Pilots songs from that era, honestly, because if you were to think that this came out in the 2010s, I wouldn't blame you. Like, if you thought this came out in 2017, I couldn't blame you. It sounds really, really good. It sounds so cool. I love just rapping along to this one. I love the theming of it. I love how it fits in self-titled. And I love how it's still a massive track to this day, being one of the most popular from self-titled. It's perfect. Number 11, the one that almost made the top 10, but didn't, The Outside. The Outside was my most played song for almost 3 years in a row. I love Scaled and Icy, and this is a big reason why I love Scaled and Icy. When you have songs like Good Day, Mulberry Street, Formidable, and other stuff like that where it doesn't really sound like the band at all, you're gonna have a song that sounds like the band, but also kind of doesn't, and that's what The Outside is. A lot of people talk about Scaled and Icy, and they say that, No Chances and Redecorate are the only songs that sound like the band, and I would disagree with that. I think the other one that does is The Outside. The rap is really great, even though it's kind of corny. It has that same sort of corny feel as something like Lavish, but it works really well, and the flow is great to the point where I don't even care if it's corny. That's what it's meant to do. Plus, the whole instrumental of this song is probably my favorite instrumental from 21 Pilots. Not ever, but maybe in the top 5 instrumentals of 21 Pilots. I love this instrumental. Plus, it's so fun to sing. I love the effects on Tyler's vocals, and just the theming of it is great. While it could be about the outside edema, it's also like being cocky, and I don't know, this to me was Lavish before Lavish, if that makes any sense. The Outside will always be one of my favorite 21 Pilots songs. It is so underrated, and kind of sad it didn't make it into the top 10, but in 10th place, The Outside's perfect, by the way, but in 10th place, Next Semester. Listen, Next Semester is a cathartic song about Tyler's suicide attempt, trying to stand into the road and get hit by a car. So not only is it relatable, not only is it perfectly crafted, but it's also me listening to my idol's suicide attempt and him turning it into this just masterpiece of a song. He said he wrote it on the ukulele. You can tell. I love how it's sort of something you wouldn't expect, in the same vein of Chlorine, where the first half, or I guess first third, is really fast and really fun and upbeat, but then that last section is just slow and somber. It doesn't feel like something that would be on a 21 Pilots album. It feels like something that would be in a 21 Pilots live show, where they sing the regular part of the song and then they go into the slower part, whether it's on the piano or on the uke, that isn't in the studio versions. And I just think that Next Semester truly is a unique thing for 21 Pilots. I didn't really like the sound when I first heard it because I thought it was very generic, but honestly, this song has a bunch of different changes in it that are not normal at all. Even Josh said that the record label tried to get them to change the formatting of the song because they thought that the way it moved around didn't make a lot of sense, but I love the way it sounds, and I think it's perfect. I'm kind of rambling at this point, and I'm sorry. I hope this video is okay. I'm not editing it though. Fuck y'all. Anyway, 9th place, Jumpsuit. Jumpsuit is another song that is perfect. From the eerie noise in the beginning to the scream at the end, Jumpsuit takes you on a journey that no 21 Pilots song has ever really taken you on before. It is amazingly produced, and it feels like a standout in their discography. The bass line is one of the best bass lines I've ever heard, and Tyler's way of just conveying what he's trying to say is written very interestingly. The whole metaphor of the jumpsuit being sort of Tyler's protector and him wanting it to cover him or shield him away from certain things is something that's always going to hit deep, and it's something that's relatable because we all need sort of a shield for ourselves. It sounds like an introduction track with the loud drums, the crazy bass line, the vocals, the eerie noises, the synths. Everything culminates into the song to make a masterpiece. In 8th place, you got Leave the City, which is one of my favorite closers ever made. It's a song about staying in the place between where you are and where you want to be. And the lyrics are both related to Dima as well as real life situations, trying to look to a better future, but staying where you are for the sake of safety. Trenches mentioned, blurry faces almost mentioned. Some of the best lyricism and production ever. It's got an eerie sound. It's got piano. It's great. Leave the City goes over so much in such a short amount of time. It ends on the lyric, "They know what I mean." And in Trench, I'm not alone, these faces facing me. It's just almost about us while also being about so much else. And I love this song so much, it's hard to get my thoughts out there. It's perfect. Speaking of perfect, in 7th place, we got Nico and the Niners. I bet your favorite band hasn't had the lead singer rap over a reverse beat in probably their most experimental song ever made. Nico and the Niners starts with a reverse ukulele, and that's the riff the entire time. It's an entire song about the lore and about Nico and the Niners. It's an entire song about what Tyler needs to get away from. It's literally a song about how to get out of Dima, with him saying East is up over and over again. East is the way out of Dima. Go East. Nico and the Niners sound so cool. It's so fun to sing, so fun to listen to. There is so much in this song that I will always forever love. It is experimental and an acquired taste, but it's a taste that I keep coming back to. Speaking of amazing production, number 6, Morph. Morph is crazy. Morph is crazy, guys. It's just a song about not feeling like yourself and shutting down. And the fact that you have to morph to someone else to feel like a different person, to be able to have the confidence to go out into the world. At least that's my interpretation, sort of. It's just crazy. Like the whole ones and zeros part, it's perfect. It sounds so cool. The rapping is awesome. The production, like I said, some of the best production ever. The reason it's not in the top 5 anymore is because Clancy came out and because my number 1 song moved from number 7 to number 1. It used to be my number 1. It went down to number 7. Whatever. I'll talk about that when I get there. But like I said, Morph is perfect. It's got so much going for it. And the falsetto is some of the best falsetto ever in any 21 Pilots song. It's just a huge win. Plus, Nico is mentioned, and in the second rap verse, I think the beat breaks up as Tyler sort of breaks up his vocals in a different way, which it's just crazy. There's so many little details in this song that make me want to keep going back to it. I'm tired. I'm yapping about nothing. Hopefully I'm not getting annoying. But in 5th place, in the top 5, we got Overcompensate. Overcompensate is such a crazy song. It's like 4 songs poured into one. First, we got that beginning where it's just the refrain of Bandito reminding you that he can destroy this world whenever he wants, and he created it. On top of this crazy heavy Dirty Soul style beat with the awesome drums and just crazy like riser that almost sounds like a dance beat going back to something that sounds like Vessel. Then the beat changes, it drops, and it goes into this stank face inducing rap beat, and Tyler is just spitting. He's so overly confident and you're almost scared about it. There's so much going on in the background, like confusion being repeated over and over again. There's so much happening in the forefront with the lyrics that Tyler's saying. And his flow is this crazy broken up flow that sounds like it shouldn't be as good as it is. Then you get to the bridge breakdown, which is crazy, especially when those drums kick in. And you go back into the Earned My Stripes 300 tracks and my Adidas track jacket part. This song is so fun to sing. There's so much going for it. I could talk about this song for 20 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. It is perfect, though. Speaking of perfect, in fourth place, we got Levitate. Levitate flows perfectly from Jumpsuit and is sort of talking about kind of the same thing. This is the first fully rap 21 Pilots song, and the production on this is just Trench to a T. On top of that, it is the most fun 21 Pilots song to sing, in my opinion, because it's not singing, it's rapping the whole thing, and it is such a good flow. And Josh's drums in the background are just like, they sound like hi-hats, but they kind of aren't. I don't know, man. Levitate is such a standout in the discography. It's short, it's simple, it's sweet. I think that songs that start with L are some of 21 Pilots' best songs. With Lavish, Legend, Leave the City, Levitate, and Let Cheetah. I'm kidding. Third place, we got Pet Cheetah. Pet Cheetah is a song about writer's block and a song about how Tyler cannot write a song and how he needs to make a beat to exercise so that he can make a song. But this is the beat that he's exercising with, that he's making a song with, about not being able to make a song. I get that Pet Cheetah can be an acquired taste and it has a lot of experimental production to it that might not be a strong suit for a lot of people, but with the beat going bum ba-dum bum ba-dum, with that progression and just, you know, the Pet Cheetah roaring before the rap and this song feeling like a party, I just can't help but love it. I love how the chorus slows down and, you know, it makes you just kind of sit back and relax for a little bit before going back into the insane, like, amazing mess that is the song. It's not a mess, it's amazing, but you know what I mean. It's just so perfectly crafted. All the changes feel like they're in the perfect place that they need to be in. And the end is Pet Cheetah, Cheetah, not Pet Cheetah, Pet Cheetah. That's stupid. That's dumb. I don't care if Tyler said that's it. I don't care if that's the lyrics. That's stupid. It's Pet Cheetah, Cheetah. All right, my top two was a little tough. Second place, though, we got Cut My Lip. Cut My Lip used to be my least favorite from Trench for about 2 years, but after a while, it really hit and made me think hard about what it was going for and what it was trying to do. I love reggae songs, especially when they are not reggaeton and they don't sound like the same exact beat as every single reggae song ever. I think that the lyrics of Cut My Lip, of going back to old habits and just, you know, the rust is around the rim, but you drink it anyway and you cut your lip, like, that is so relatable. Just going back to this thing that you know is going to hurt you even though it makes you feel good. It's peak songwriting. And the fact that this song doesn't have many lyrics, but the beat just keeps changing and moving along, shows you how interesting the song is. It's almost a 5-minute long song. And, you know, it's got the dirty bass from Jumpsuit and My Blood. It's got the reggae sort of style from Nico and the Niners and from Ride. It's got so many 21 Pilots-isms in it, and Tyler's passion in his voice throughout the whole song. Like, you could tell this was one of his favorites to record because he is singing his little heart out. There is no song like Cut My Lip in the entire 21 Pilots discography. I think Snapback kind of comes close, but it's not anywhere near the masterfully crafted way that Cut My Lip came to be. I love this song. It's perfect. Could easily flip to my number one, but my number one, it should have stayed the same for a while, but when Overcompensate came out, I thought that was my favorite for a little bit, but it's not. Redecorate is my number one. For a while, you know, I used to think the vocal performance and sort of effects were weird and it was a little off-putting, but in my opinion, I see this song as 3 different perspectives coming all into one thing that relate back to the same chorus, and the chorus is kind of all of them singing at the same time. It's different than something like Backslide where it sounds screechy due to how the vocal effects are all kind of layered on top of each other. This one seems very tasteful, Not that Backslide isn't tasteful, but that's a story for another day. I think that Redecorate is just perfect in the way that it conveys what it's trying to go for. I sat on my bed when I listened to the song for the first time and ended up crying my eyes out. I still do sometimes. I like how it's got the same BPM as Morph and how it's the slow, sad closer of a song, but it's also sort of upbeat in its style. The bells and whistles are awesome. When I look at Scaled and Icy's album cover, I think of Shed Your Modesty with Shy Away, and I think of Mulberry Street with its happy colors, but I also think of Redecorate because he says scaled back and isolated in it for one, but also it just feels like the album cover, if that makes any sense at all. You got the line that also relates back to Mulberry Street, which is he would have made it if he lived on a different street. And that's one of the main reasons I love Scaled and Icy so much. It's just because there's so much in these songs that you don't notice at first glance, and you can, write it off as this poppy album, but really it's something more. And Redecorate shows that. I'm sad that it doesn't have many streams and it kind of goes under the radar as a 21 Pilots song, but there's so much in this song that pushes it forward to make it my favorite, and there's no song out there about wanting to clean your room before you kill yourself so that the people in your life don't have to do it for you or make the decision to keep it the way it is. I think that whether it's a metaphor or right on the nose, it's perfect. I love the way this sounds, and I don't think it'll ever be topped as my number one 21 Pilots song of all time. But I do have some honorable mentions that I want to go over before I end this video. This long freaking mess of a video. 22nd place, I have Car Radio, and in 23rd place, I have At the Risk of Feeling Dumb. These two songs could have easily made it onto my top 21, but they just didn't feel right being there. Car Radio is really good, but I've overplayed it, and it kind of overstays its welcome for a little long. At the Risk of Feeling Dumb, I love the messaging behind it. I love the vocal performance. I love so much about the song. I love how different it sounds and how it sounds like essential 21 Pilots. But I just couldn't find a way to put it into the top 21 without taking one of my favorites out. 24, 25, 26, Vignette, Smithereens, Mulberry Street. They are some of the best from their respective albums. I love Vignette for the falsetto and for the beat. I love Smithereens for the lyrics and for the jazz feel, and I love Mulberry Street for how different it is, how it sounds like Benny and the Jets, and how Tyler's singing is shown very well, but how the piano riff is just perfect. So, those 5 songs that I didn't include in my top 21 could have easily been in there, but I just couldn't find the heart to knock out any of the other ones that I put in my top 21 rather than one of these. So that's why they're not in there, but I still wanted to mention them. Thank you guys for being here, watching my videos every Thursday, or if this is your first one. Like I said so many times, which might be cringe, this was probably a struggle for you to get through. I do not know how to put my thoughts out there. I don't really write my videos. I kind of just come up with the concept and then I hit record and I'm like, all right, just spew your thoughts. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.